The night arrived quietly, without announcement. The city lights dimmed beneath a sky that felt heavier than usual, as if something unseen was waiting to unfold. Adrian walked alone along a familiar path, hands in his coat pockets, footsteps steady, mind unusually calm. He had learned to walk this way, unhurried, observant, present. Silence had become a companion to him lately. Not the peaceful kind, but the unanswered kind. Lena had not spoken in days. No messages. No explanations. No closure. Just space. In the past, Adrian might have filled that space with questions, with restless thoughts, with impulses that demanded immediate relief. But stoicism had taught him something different. Not every silence is an absence. Sometimes, it is a mirror. That night, as he turned the corner near the old park, something unexpected happened. He saw her. Lena stood beneath a street lamp, its light casting a soft glow around her. She wasn't waiting for anyone. Or maybe she was waiting for herself. Her posture was calm, but her eyes carried depth, like someone standing between decisions. For a moment, neither of them moved. The encounter was unplanned, unscripted, and strangely inevitable. Adrian felt the instinct to speak rise within him, but he didn't act on it. He remembered what silence had taught him. The first response does not always need to be words. Instead, he simply acknowledged her presence with a quiet nod. Lena looked surprised, but not uncomfortable. Perhaps she had expected questions. Or explanations. Or pressure. She received none. They walked together without direction, footsteps aligning naturally. The night air carried a stillness that allowed thoughts to breathe. Their silence was not awkward, it was reflective. Lena eventually spoke. "You didn't reach out," she said softly. Adrian didn't defend himself. He didn't explain. He answered simply, "I trusted the space." She stopped walking and looked at him, genuinely curious. "Most people don't." "I know," he said. "But silence often means something needs to surface." Lena exhaled slowly. "I needed time. Not distance, but clarity." Adrian nodded. He did not interrupt. He did not rush her words. Stoicism had taught him that listening was not passive, it was strength. They sat on a bench beneath the trees, the city humming quietly in the distance. Lena spoke about pressure, about expectations, about feeling pulled in directions she hadn't chosen. She spoke about how silence was the only way she could hear herself again. Adrian listened without judgment. He realized something profound in that moment. Love was not proven by pursuit, but by restraint. Not by filling every gap, but by honoring the pause. "I thought silence would push you away," Lena admitted. Adrian smiled faintly. "Silence only reveals what already exists." That surprised her. The night stretched on, but neither felt the urge to escape it. Their conversation unfolded slowly, like pages turning at the right pace. There was no urgency, only presence. Adrian shared his own journey. How stoicism had taught him to separate what he could control from what he could not. How he learned that reaction often weakens connection, while composure strengthens it. "When you went quiet," he said, "I realized I had two choices. Chase what I feared losing, or remain grounded in who I am." "And you chose yourself," Lena said. "I chose balance." She smiled, not out of relief, but recognition. They continued walking, the park eventually opening into a view of the city skyline. Lights shimmered like distant stars, reminding them both that clarity often comes when one steps back. Lena stopped again. "I didn't know if you would still be here," she admitted. Adrian met her gaze calmly. "I didn't leave. I just didn't force." That was the moment something shifted. Not dramatically, not loudly, but deeply. Lena realized she had never been given space without consequence before. Silence had always been met with demands. Her quiet had been challenged instead of respected. That night, it was different. They parted without promises, without declarations. Only understanding. Days passed. The silence between them changed, not gone, but transformed. When Lena finally reached out again, it wasn't out of pressure or confusion. It was clarity. Their conversations deepened. Not frequent, but intentional. Not emotional, but sincere. They spoke about values. About direction. About the importance of inner stability. Adrian remained consistent. Calm. Present. He did not overanalyze pauses. He did not fear distance. He understood that love, like wisdom, grows when not rushed. One evening, weeks later, they met again, this time intentionally. Lena looked lighter. More grounded. I learned something during that silence, she said. Adrian waited. I learned that someone who remains steady when things go quiet is someone worth trusting. He nodded. And I learned that silence is not rejection, it's communication. Their connection matured not through intensity, but through respect. They built something uncommon, a bond rooted in self-control, mutual understanding, and emotional clarity. Neither tried to complete the other. They stood whole, choosing connection rather than dependency. The surprising moment that night was not the encounter itself, but what followed. Silence no longer felt threatening. It felt honest. And Adrian understood something essential. The stoic response is not indifference, it is dignity. When silence comes, do not react. Do not chase. Do not assume. Observe. Stay grounded. Let truth reveal itself. Because those who are meant to stay will return, not because they were pursued, but because they were respected. And sometimes, the quietest nights change everything.